Hey, At Home Fitness fam. It is Sunday, June 14th, and as you know, Sundays are active recovery day. The focus of which, let me run through how I tend to think about active recovery day. So, if you guys missed a workout during the week that you wanted to get to, Sundays are usually a pretty good day for that because it probably means that you took rest days during the week that you didn't want to take. I personally am trying to do some kind of workout every other day during the week except for Sunday. So I like to utilize my Sundays to let the body heal, recover, and probably get in some quality prep work, yoga type work to get ready for the week ahead. I think that's important because I think we need to maintain movement, keep going, so it keeps us in that rhythm, especially when it comes to soreness, stiffness, delayed onset muscle soreness, things like that. However, you don't want to necessarily expect your body to be capable of being crushed every day of the week and still be able to make it more and more and more, longer and longer without getting hurt, except when you are maybe 18 years old and are capable of that. But I'm guessing most of you are not that case. So, what I like to see from active recovery days are usually between 20 and 30 minutes of movement. If we're doing something intentional, let's go through that first, then we'll talk about if it's unintentional at the end. So if we're doing something intentional, yoga is a pretty good option. I'm not sure if yoga studios are opening yet, but if they are, that's awesome. If not, they probably have gotten very good at doing online classes. I know a couple friends who have, and that is a good option for anybody, even those of us that think that we are super mobile and flexible. Second one would be going for a run or performing some other type of steady state cardio activity, probably single modality, meaning only one thing. If you guys want to mix it up for like a light triathlon type of thing, or just rowing, running, something along those lines, that works as well. Key word is light. I like to think of the intensity on this kind of stuff as about 60% of what we would do if we were attempting to be competitive with ourselves or anybody else or something along those lines. The third and final thing is what I like to do and what I'm doing today, as I'm going to run you guys through real quickly in a minute, which is taking about 20-30 minutes and creating an AMRAP. And the AMRAP is for quality. It is not for time. It is not for score. It is not for anything along those lines except for consistency, quality, and improvement and recovery. So there's a bunch of different ways you guys can think about this. It can be to get some practice in on something that we don't think we're very good at. It can be to work on some strength imbalances, unilateral work, stuff like that. Or in my case, I like to use things that allow me to feel better as the week begins tomorrow. So, for example, I get some stretching stuff in, some mobility stuff, band work in that regard. Today I'm also going to do some unilateral stuff, not necessarily to work on strength and balances, but because at a certain stage I feel like it helps me in my recovery. So to give you guys an example, here's what I'm going to do today, and then you're going to see me demonstrate that in a minute. So 20 minutes, AMRAP quality. If I go a little over, I don't really care. I'm just going to finish out whatever round I'm on. It's going to be an easy 400-meter run, so probably more of a 400-meter jog. That's going to be somewhere between 2, maybe 3 minutes. Then I get back in, I'm going to do some single leg deadlifts with light weight, holding the weight in my opposite hand of whatever leg and hip I'm hinging on. Then I'm going to do some Bulgarian split squats without weight, simply for quality, maybe a slower tempo, maybe a pause down at the bottom to really feel the hips engage in the movement. And then I'm going to get a band and stretch my lats, as well as probably throw a light core activity in there. And so the reasons on these things. Every day I try and do something geared at the core. So today it's probably going to have my feet in a TRX strap in a push-up position, bringing the knees in, maybe pulling the hips up into a pike position to get some core work. The lat stretch is because my lats are sore from 2 days ago and yesterday. So in terms of how I like to do things for recovery to get rid of delayed onset muscle soreness is in that 1 to 2 day window, I like to stretch. especially if it's not super aggressive. The lower body stuff I'm doing, however, the single leg deadlifts, or probably more technically speaking, an RDL for me, and then the single leg Bulgarian split squats is more of a 3-day, 2-day ago soreness that I need to try and flesh out as well. So theoretically speaking, if my lats are still a little more sore than I want them to be tomorrow, I will probably do some pull-ups, maybe some banded stuff to get them working to try and flush that soreness out tomorrow if they haven't recovered by then, which is basically what's happened to my hamstrings and my hips a little bit from where's it, Sunday, so Thursday and Friday's work. So again, you guys can use this however you want. If you don't want this to be an intentional practice, then let's just focus on making today, the active recovery day, more of a movement or active oriented day outside of the gym, the home gym, or whatever the office space is, than it normally would be. Also known as going for a bike ride, going for a walk, walking on the beach, something along those lines. All right, so stick around if you want to see me run through what I'm going to do in a super fast speed because it's going to be sped up on the camera. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, so just finished the 400-meter jog. Don't worry, I was definitely not going to make you guys sit here and watch nothing for that whole time. So I'm going to give you a shorter version of what I'm going to go through real quick on this first round, then I'll go back and do it. But I don't want you guys to sit here and watch me stretch my shoulder out for a minute each side. So, like I said, the single leg RDLs. Again, taking our time, trying to move for quality. Then my Bulgarian split squats. Then I would go into my banded lat stretch. And hit each side. Before doing the TRX Pike-ups. Then heading back out on the run. So that's the series I'm going to do. You can do that, but remember I created it for a reason. So if you have something that applies more to you, then let's put those in place and work through them.